And that's it. Have a good morning, John.
It's Nikki in Las Vegas to Bob in Everett, Washington. Independent, good morning.
Good morning, John. I just had one comment today. I think Pete Hegseth has started drinking again. So thank you.
Steve in Painesville, Ohio, Democrat, good morning.
Make a comment about our national security and just the breach that took place last couple of days. Well, we go back to 2021, and Donald Trump had his bathroom at Mar-a-Lago full of our national security secrets. They weren't in a skiff. And I believe he was reading war plans to a couple of women in Bedminster at his golf club. So I guess we asked for this. We have the best people in charge now that America has to offer. Apparently, the national security is being run by a bunch of clowns. It's hard to believe, but in 1947, the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists created the doomsday clock, and the original setting was 7 minutes to midnight. And obviously, the threat at the time was nuclear war. Well, it is up to 2024. The threats are nuclear war, climate change, and AI. The clock is now set at 89 seconds to midnight. The good news is the clock can be moved back, which it was in 1991. It was moved back to 17 minutes to midnight, which is when Ukraine disarmed and turned over their strategic and tactical nuclear weapons. And that was the collapse of the Soviet Union. You Republicans remember Reagan? When we were the city on the hill, we were the light shining in the world. You Republicans remember when Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. In 1987, in 1991, the collapse of the Soviet Union, when the people in East Germany were rejoicing because they had freedom. I think a lot of Americans are taking our freedom for granted. I'll just wrap it up with that.
Steve, you may be interested, in C-SPAN viewers interested in the doomsday clock. It was January 28th of this year that C-SPAN covered the latest announcement about the risks threatening humanity, the movement of the 89 seconds to midnight of the doomsday clock, the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. You can watch that event on our website at cspan.org. Just type in doomsday clock in the search bar at the top of the page. This is another Steven in Florida, Republican. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. A couple of points to inject this morning. Remember the Blackberries and the cell phones and the private servers. Maybe a better question to ask is why are government employees choosing to use other lines of communication? So maybe one possibility is you want to know, you want your adversary to know. Maybe it was a purposeful leak. So that's a couple of points that I wanted to make this morning. Thank you,
So,
sir.
Stephen, it was a leak that happened before the attack. The attack happens on March 15th, and then the reporter doesn't write about this and disclose it as a leak until yesterday. So how does that square with the scenario you're imagining?
Well, Goldberg was an unlikely recipient. And I just think it's so unlikely that that's a mistake. I think it was done on purpose.
Even in Florida, this is George in Maryland, Independent. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Thank you for C-SPAN. This is George, the John McCain Republican, now Independent. I called in on the Independent line. I want to commend Sean Caspin, and I thank you for having him as a guest. He's sort of renewed my faith in some of our representatives. But John, what I feel now is maybe it's time that we go with a third party. I think Republicans, such as myself, are afraid of some of the extreme Democrats, and I think a lot of Democrats are afraid of some of the extreme Republicans. So I'm going to send out a plea to the people that I think love America and would truly vote and pass legislation with their hearts. I think of Paul Ryan, Liz Cheney. Now, I know some of these people have been voted out of office, but Paul Ryan, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Larry Hogan, Joe Manchin, Claire McCaskill, people such as they, I think, need to get together and come up with candidates that people who aren't extreme in the Democratic Party and people who aren't extreme in the Republican Party have someone that they can vote for president. I couldn't vote for president because I certainly couldn't vote for Donald Trump. I'm a retired Vietnam veteran, and what he has done to the military and dishonored some of the generals, I don't want to go into that because I went into that previously on your show.
Well, George, you're in Maryland. You mentioned Larry Hogan. Why do you think Larry Hogan was able to win in a traditionally blue state in Maryland as a Republican, as governor, but was not able to win that Senate seat that he ran for?
I think he won as governor because he's a moderator. He's a mediator. He addressed Democrats and Republicans both.
So why wasn't he able to win his Senate race?
John, Maryland is, a very blue state. And I don't know that people did their homework when they followed the campaign and just voted for their party down the line. I voted for him.
Why were they able to
I'm a Republican, and it's hard to be. I'm in Charles County.
Why were they able to not vote down? Why were they able to not vote down the line in a governor's race, and then you say they voted down the line in the Senate race?
I don't have an answer for that, John. I'm sorry. I think it's people like Larry Hogan and some of the ones I mentioned, and there's a lot more out there who I think could bring this country together. We are so divided now, party line, and I think a lot of it is because, as I said, the extremes on both sides. I think it's really time for us to get down the middle and be a little conservative and progressive both, and I think it's possible. But I'm sending out a plea to the good former representatives and the present representatives, such as Sean Caskell and others guests that you've had here on the show that have been down the middle and love their country more than they love the power of the office.
That's George in Maryland. This is Stephanie. Back in the Garden State, it's Montclair, Democrat. Good morning.
Good morning, John. I just want people to know the way that Trump and Elon Musk went about the so-called audit is not the way you do an audit. You meet with managers of the different departments, and then you make suggestions. And I mean, to go in and just fire everybody and shut everything down doesn't make any sense. It just boggles the mind. And Donald Trump, it's about money and power. And that's all he cares about. And those people who were talking about getting money out of government, look what you got. You got billionaires in his cabinet. How come nobody's complaining about that?
Michael's next, out of Highland, New York, Republican. Good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make a couple comments about the so-called leak story there. Nobody buys it or believes it, and if this reporter was the known lied, the one that hates Trump, why didn't he take a screenshot or a recording on his phone? He could have just presented it to the FBI. All it boils down to is he's trying to cover up for all the freaking messes that Biden got us into that Trump is taking care of, as always.
Michael, he did include screenshots in his story. Still with us? Jessica's next then. Illinois, Independent. Good morning. Jessica, you with us? Got to stick by your phone. Then we go to Terry in Indiana. Independent. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Yes, they talking about bringing the Bible back in to the school system. I think that's a good idea. But what a lot of the Christians don't know, Bill Carson has studied the Bible, Bibles, all the Bibles, and ancient text, the texts that were wrote on clay tablets about the Anunnakis, and all the Bibles have copied from those Anunnaki writings and clay tablets.
So, Terry-
36,000 years ago they were wrote.
Bring me up to 2025. Where are we going with this?
That the Christians don't realize that all those Bibles were copied from clay tablets of the Anunnakis that, I don't know if you know about them, but they were here, I think it's 450,000 years ago, and they came here to get gold, and they had a people that were mining this gold for 200,000 years until they got tired of their condition and rose up to fight about it. And that's when they took us, the caveman type people, they updated their brain to make them smarter. And I guess they shortened our lives even at the time when they made our brains and had us start doing the mining for the gold.
All right, it's Terry in Indiana. This is David in New York, Democrat. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank C-SPAN for unbiased reporting on things that are going on in this country. With this whole thing with this leak, I want to know if they're going to hold people responsible. We heard about Hillary Clinton, okay, and her.
Did you send on the compensation agreement to Nesbit?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, he was searching for stuff because he's been known to do that. It's going to turn out just as a minor incursion. It's not going to. They're blowing it way out of proportion. But the thing about education is our government spends more on education than anywhere in the world, and they could hire a really highly paid qualified teacher for each classroom of about 20 students, cut down class size, hire more teachers, and provide an after-school tutor for special education, any kind of upper sciences.
Got your point. That's Debbie. This is Ernestina out of the Tar Heel State. Good morning.
Good morning. What I was talking about, 1994, Ukraine weapons was dismembered by Russia, which they was the third country to have the most weapons, and they was dismembered by Russia. Russia know they don't have no weapons to fight with because they dismantled them.
Are you talking about Ukraine's nuclear arsenal when it was part of the Soviet Union?
Yes. Okay, they dismantled. Okay, they know they don't have no weapons to fight with. They was the United States, Russia, all they were supposed to help them once they disarmed their weapons. Russia know they don't have no weapons to work with. And then they go Trump stopping the weapons that our president supposed to be sending over there to do as he was told. Russia again failed to follow rules that was supposed to be a rule that was in 1994. They don't follow rules. And another thing, on Readout, WS on MSNBC, they took her out. He told her boss to fire her because she was prejudiced. Who is more prejudiced than him? Readout needs to be on there because Black and other people, we need to listen to
Do you want me to leave the volume up that maybe you want to listen or
No,
no?
just as long as you,
Okay,
because I'm gonna be working on other stuff and the phone rings and I have to answer it, so.
okay.
This is the other thing about trying to do some of those trainings, it's like, it's always working hours, so.
I know.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today. We'll give it just a few more minutes, but we'll get started, or a few more seconds. I think there's like a couple of people trying to join. So today we are going to be talking about Canva. So probably another 30 seconds, we'll get started. And thank you, Riley, for joining us. So our marketing guru. All right. Well, yeah, let's get started. You guys are here on time. So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about Canva. So, just a couple things before I kind of just hand it over to Riley because she knows what she's doing in the platform. I dabble in it, but just so you guys know, Canva is a third-party platform, so it is not part of ERA. You don't go to Leverage to get it like, like the ERA tools. Canva is just a kind of a marketing tool, creating flyers and things like that. A bunch of marketing pieces that a lot of folks in our brokerage use, and Riley is very familiar with it and uses it when she's creating, some of our marketing stuff. So Riley, when you go in, you'll see, but it's just Canva, Canva.com. There is a free version, and then of course, if you like it and are comfortable with it and want to use it, of course, there's an upgraded version that will allow you to do more. So, but right now, I'm going to kind of hand it over to you, Riley, and let you. If anyone, just like when I'm doing this, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to unmute or, throw a question in chat. I think we'll have some time in the end for anybody that saw something. And of course, this is being recorded. So it's something that you'll be able to rewatch if Riley covered something and then you get in to try to do it. I know how that works when I'm doing it. So it's nice to maybe have the recording. So just remember it will be recorded. So we will get started now, and I'm just going to hand it over to you, Riley. Thank you again for joining us today.
All right. Hello, everyone. So as Wayne mentioned, we will be going over Canva today, which is a third-party platform that you can use for marketing. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right. So it's just called Canva, Canva.com. And like Wayne said, there is a free version and there also is a pro version. We have the pro version here through ERA, so that's what I will be showing you today. But the free version does have a lot of good stuff in there too that you can use. So to just do a general overview, you can really make any sort of marketing piece in here. As you can see, the popular ones are an Instagram post, flyer, Facebook post. You can make videos, a bunch of different stuff. So if you just click here, you can see all of the different things that you can create in here, and you can also search for something if you're looking for something specific that you don't see right away. You also can make a custom size design if what you need is not in there already. So there's that. On the left-hand side over here, there's a project section. So we have ours set up for the brokerage. It's different folders for different stuff. So we have social media. This is what we use for all of our onboarding. So this is where we make the business cards, email signatures. Here's a post we usually post on Mondays on social media that we make in here. So there's all sorts of stuff in here. You can kind of make it to you and create your own folders to organize things better. There's also a template section. There's a bunch of templates already in Canva that you can use, which is very convenient. That way you're not having to always build something from scratch. There's a lot of great stuff in here, especially stuff for real estate that you can just swap your info and photos in for, and you can get something made pretty quickly. We have this because ours is a company account, but if you buy the pro version, you can make a brand kit. And this is where you can put in all of your logos. You can put colors that you like, fonts. So we obviously have all the ERA stuff in here, but if you buy the pro version, you can go in and put your own stuff in here as well. And then these bottom two, I haven't really got in much. I don't really use them. But there's stuff in there if you ever want to look into that. So, I'm going to show you guys how to make an open house flyer. I think that's a pretty common thing that would help you guys out if you wanted to make one in here. So I'm just going to click on flyer. They already have a bunch of flyer sizes in here that you can choose from. And we are going to start by making one from scratch, and then we'll also use one of the designs that they already have in here to create one as well. So I actually have one in front of me that I've made for one of our agents. So I'm just going to kind of go off of that and create one. So there's a lot of frames in here that you can use to insert pictures. So there's a search bar over here in Elements, which is where you can search for graphics, photos, videos. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you can already use. I'm just going to use this one. Just put it in here, and then you can resize it to whatever size you want. So let me see. Does anyone have a current listing address that you want to give me that I can use?
You can use 9519 Loveland, Madeira.
Okay. All right, so I will just go in here and pull the picture. Or this is not updated.
No, it's not. It just went live late last night, this morning. There we
Okay.
go.
Here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this picture and paste it in here. You can copy and paste images, but you can also upload them from your computer as well. So you'll just drag it in there. And then over here is the text section where you can add any text. Here are the ERA ones that we have, but there's a million different fonts in here. So there's some that show up right here. If you like any of them, you can just click on them and change them out. But I'm going to use one of our ERA fonts. And you can change the font up here as well. Change it to this. You can change the size, the color. There's different effects you can add. Change this to maybe. And I'm going to put the date. Let's just say for this one, I'm actually going to show you guys some different graphics that I use in here all the time that you can use to kind of just add something else rather than just text. So I'm just going to use a calendar graphic. You can change the color and size. And then let's do, we can also do the time. Let's just say it's from 12 to 2 o'clock. Okay. And then you can also add some different things about the property. That's what I've done before. Bullet points you can use. All right, so looks like this is 3-bed, 2-bath. One-car garage. And then if there's any special things about the property, let's see. New kitchen. Alright. Okay. Here's just a little bit more information about the property. And I'm going to add a couple more frames to put some interior pictures of the house on here. And these lines that show up are very convenient because it will show you if you have everything lined up well. Just go grab a couple more photos. And you can also crop the photos if you want to center it. So there's some other photos. I'm also going to add the price. Something I like to do to kind of make certain things stand out is I'll just add like a rectangle shape. And then put text inside of it just to kind of make it pop a little more. So this price is $389.9. Right. And then another thing you can do is add your headshot on here. So let's see, I know I have Melissa's. I'll just use Melissa's for this. With the upgraded version, you can remove the background, which is really nice. Some photos still look good with the background, so it's not necessary, but sometimes removing it does kind of make it look a little better. And then you can put your contact information here. Phone number. whatever other information you want to add on there, you can. And then I'm also going to add the ERA logo, which we have in the brand kit, but we have all of our logos on Agent Hub if you ever need those. And yeah, so that's just a quick one you can do from scratch. You can obviously add whatever you want to it. This is just kind of a basic one with general information and a couple pictures. But like I said, there's a bunch of different elements in here. You can really create it however you want. There's a million colors in here and fonts. But this is just kind of a quick one that you can do in here. Does anyone have any questions about anything I just went over or made?
So Riley, obviously, you know, you probably could have created that in 2 minutes without explaining it, but it really did look easy. So I think everyone, you know, even if you rewatch this, like I'd rewatch it and like, okay, she grabbed that and that's where she got the picture. But, and then just real quick, I think you'll talk about it, but so you have the ability to like, this will be in your account. Like, you know, if you created it, it would be in your account and you can grab this one and copy it. And then you don't have to like go find, you know, if you like the format, correct? Like you can copy it and then just next week go in, change the date, change the time,
Yeah.
you know, change the pictures, obviously, if it's a different house. But, you know, like your headshot would be in there, your info.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's,
so
and you
you
know, so
can,
the second one will be that much easier if you kind of create one and you're like, hey, I like that format. You know, the second one, just obviously swap out pictures and in info or whatever, but kind of the core would be there for you.
yeah, you can duplicate the page and change everything out. I also just realized I didn't put the property address, which is important. So, you can add that on here. I'll probably put it. But I can also share this one and I should be able to send it out to people that you guys can open it up in your own Canva and swap things out if you wanted to use this one. Okay. So yeah, but you can duplicate this and change it out every week. You can name each page if you wanted to do it by the address. But yeah, once you create it once, it's really easy to just copy it and redo it for any other open houses that you have. All right, if there's no other questions, I will now show you how to make one with a template that's already in Canva. Just add a page. And then you'll go over here to design. And you can just look up open house. And there's a bunch of templates in here already that you can use. Just find one. Just use this one. And even though this is a template, you can change out any of the fonts, colors, anything that you don't like on here, you can customize to how you want it. So just delete some of this stuff. Should already have the frames. So you can just change out this. We do have an open house Saturday from 1 to 3. Picture out. Picture of the front of the house as well. All right, so that one is even easier. If there's already a template in here, you just swap out the information and pictures and you have a great open house flyer. And like I said earlier, there's a bunch of different designs in here, fonts, colors. You can really personalize it to your brand and however you want it to look. And you can also, these are flyers, for example, but like I said, we use Canva for all of our social media posts. So you can use it for Instagram, Facebook. You can make videos. If you saw our fuel recap video, I made that in here. You can make logos in here. There's a bunch of different elements. I've made quite a few agent logos recently for people. And there's all kinds of different graphics in here that you can use to make a logo. So yeah, it has a lot of great stuff in here. Some stuff that we don't have in some of our ERA tools, so you can make this more custom and more fit to your brand, which is why a lot of people like using Canva.
Hey, Riley, it's Julia.
Hey.
Can you, one thing that I use a lot in Canva is changing it from, like, you just made a flyer and then you can change that to a social media post. Can you show, I think it'd be helpful to show people how to do that without having to reinvent an entire social media post. I mean, you have to tweak it a bit, but.
Okay. I actually don't know how to do that. So
okay.
Tell me.
Go to File.
Okay.
Yeah, go to File. And then it'll say, sorry, I'm driving. What does it say? Change. Well, let me make your screen bigger on my phone. I'm stopped, FYI. I'm not driving right now. Uh, um, where is it? Oh, make a, no, I don't want to make a copy. Hold on. Go back
Is
up to
it,
the top. Sorry.
is it create new design?
No. Oh, resize. Sorry. That was a problem. And this is only, it's at the very top in the blue next to file.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So there you're at you're at a flyer, and then you can make it down. If you click on social media, it gives you the option to um, change it to an Instagram post, an Instagram reel, whatever you want to do with it. And then it'll say make a copy and save or just save.
Okay.
So now whichever one of those you did, it made it into, it should be the right size to go to Instagram or Facebook or whichever. And then
Okay.
that way you have to tweak it a little bit because obviously the size of a flyer is vastly different than the size of an Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
But it automatically does everything, and then you could pull out what you don't want, or however you want it to look.
Okay. That's good
So
to
that way,
know.
if you,
You could do
yeah,
that.
so that way, if you make a flyer or you make an, I always start with an Instagram post because you can always make things bigger, easier. But if you do that, then you can turn it into a flyer or whatever you want, but you don't have to go through the recreating the wheel thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's great to know. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yes. And I think resize is only if you have the pro because it's got the little crown
Mm-hmm.
next to it.
Yeah.
But just that aspect of pro is 100% worth it.
Yeah. I think I haven't checked the price in a while. I thought maybe it was like $40 for the year. But you can do a lot more with the pro version. There's still
Mm-hmm.
great stuff in the free version, but the background remover comes with that, this resize tool, where you can put a brand kit, which is nice. You don't have to kind of go back and
Right.
think about which colors you want to use. So I would definitely recommend upgrading to the pro version if you can and want to.
Agreed.
Okay.
So
So
see how it
yeah,
makes your, yeah, see how it changes the configuration of it. So now that image would fit Facebook. So you could stretch it so that it's wide enough to fit, or whatever you need to do with it.
okay. Perfect.
Yeah, just easier than recreating the wheel.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So do you guys have anything else you want to see in here or any more questions?
I am just gonna, Matthew asked, how he logs in. So, yeah, Matthew, it is a third-party platform, so we don't go through Leverage, but you just literally just go to Canva, canva.com, and then you can once you sign up, there's a free version. If, again, for everyone, if you want to test it out and like it, or just want to kind of go for the pro, there is an upgraded version. But you know, if it's, let's say, $40 a year, that's pretty reasonable for, it's not like a monthly fee or anything, kind of a one-time yearly charge, and you kind of have your own pro account. So that's definitely something to consider if if you think you're going to use the tool. So Riley, would you just show them kind of where, like, kind of back to your database, and if I had created anything and just maybe quick, hey, copy it, and then this one, then you have your original one, and can and then just make a change on the one that you copied, so you're not so you actually kind of have the original. Just maybe if you could show them that.
Yeah. So another way you can copy is if you go, um, here, we'll just use this one. You can click these three dots and hit make a copy, and it'll create a whole new design in here. If you didn't want to keep everything under one design in multiple pages, you can make a copy that way too, and just have each one separate. You can also share it by copying a link. So if you wanted to digitally share this instead of printing it out and giving it to someone, you can make a public view link where you can just send them a link and they can open up your design on their end. I think what else. And then you can obviously download these to your computer. So if you go over here to share, there's a bunch of different ways you can share it, different file types. There's a PDF print one, there's a digital PDF. Facebook and Instagram, it won't let you upload a PDF. So for those, I usually use a JPEG or PNG to download to post on social media. Here's the public view link I was talking about. Oh, another thing you can do is, I haven't tried it in here. I see there's a QR code, but you can also make a free QR code online. I think that would actually be really good for an open house flyer if you wanted to add that on here, and maybe the QR code takes them to ERA's website with your listing up. So that's another idea for open house flyers that you can add on here. You can just go online to like a free QR code generator and just download the QR code to your computer, and then you can upload anything on your computer in here when you click upload files. And it'll save everything on here once you upload something, which is nice. So if you have your headshot, you don't have to go and grab that every time. It'll stay in here. Or maybe you have an agent logo that you want to constantly use on different marketing pieces. That will all be saved in here as well. But like I've said, you can upgrade and get the brand kit where you can also upload that stuff there as well. I will show you some of the agent logos while I'm in here that I've made. This is one I made for myself. We've been working on some for Wayne. But this is a great tool to use. You can easily create an agent logo in here. I don't know if you guys have paid people for that before, but it's super easy to do it in here. If you wanted to test it out, there's a bunch of graphics, like I said. I know a house is a popular one. There's keys, kind of really anything you want is probably in here. There's a lot of great stuff.
Hey, Riley, I don't know if you were planning on it, but the offering memorandums that you created for me for multifamily properties, you did that in Canva, correct?
I did, yes. Let me pull one of those
I
up.
think that would be great to show everybody in case they ever get a multifamily listing, how you did that and how great it looks. I received so many compliments from other agents when we would send out this offering memorandum. So this was all created in Canva. Riley did it with the information I gave her, and they were phenomenal. So if maybe you want to walk through that just for a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is, I think I made this, it might be a presentation or photo book. But yeah, I made a couple of these for Dan, and once again, once you create it once, you can really, that's what I did. I just created the first one and then I just copied it and swapped out all the information for the next one. But this was, yeah, this is just another great thing you can make in here that's kind of stands out and different. Something that we don't have in some of our other tools that we offer. So here's just an overview of this. We added photos in there. You can add graphs. This was an uploaded screenshot that we did. Yeah, you can add any photos from online. That's what I did here. Um, any pictures I have, I use the frame like I showed earlier. Um, I created this chart in here. Here's more charts and graphs and statistics. You can just click on this and then you'll just type in all the information over here. And you can really look for any sort of chart or graph. They have a lot in here. And then you can add different, like I use these triangles a lot for ERA stuff, but there's a bunch of shapes in here, graphics, like I keep saying, and yeah, and I'm happy to share this one with you guys. I might have a template already, but if anyone wants any of the stuff that I went over today, I'm happy to share it and you guys can use it and swap it out with your own stuff. Another thing I just remembered that we did was these neighborhood rundowns. I know we did one for Wilmington. So this is another example of something you can create in here. These are just city rundowns going over different areas that you can print out and hand out to any of your clients that are looking for a house in a specific area. We have a couple of these already done. So if you have a specific area, we might already have one made. And then every once in a while, we would just update this last page with new listings in the area.
And for the agents on the call, I would highly recommend using these. These neighborhood rundowns are phenomenal. They're easy to create. It just makes you look more professional, and perception is reality. So when you're able to hand your client or send them something on an area that they're looking at, or maybe you have a client coming in from out of town, relo, and you can whip these up, or we can help whip those up for you since the template's already made. They just turned out fantastic and give a brief overview. We could get your picture, your contact information on it. It's just a win-win.
Yeah, and I think this one I even shared with Tracy and Linnell so that they can go in and update just this last page whenever they need it, because really the rest of the stuff is pretty common and will stay the same, but this last page you can update every once in a while. So I think that's all I have. Like I said, you can create all sorts of stuff in here. I've created a bunch of different stuff in here, videos. This is where we make your email signatures, business cards, um, open house, social media post. Obviously, like Julia said, you can take your flyer and create that into a social media post, but you can also just make a social media one as well for that. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can do in here. I would highly recommend, if you have not created an account yet, to go in. Like I said, even the free version has a ton of great stuff still, but just go in here, play around with it. And you don't even have to build stuff from scratch necessarily. There's a lot of good templates and designs in here already that you can just swap out with your stuff.
I love it. It's definitely a tool that looks easy, and believe me, I know there's different levels of tech, but in reality, the just the it seems like the ease of use and the availability to have a tool like this is pretty cool. So definitely appreciate you taking the time to show us.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll go ahead and I'll kind of create a little template for all of these if I don't have one already, and I can post it in Agent Hub under the Zoom link for today, and you guys should be able to go in there and open it up in your own Canva and create something with it.
okay, perfect. So yeah, Jackie and anyone else, if you have any questions about that, but yeah, give us, tomorrow the recording, maybe later today, but later today or tomorrow, the recording will be available. I put that in the learning library in the agent hub. And then what Riley's saying is she can maybe add at least a few pieces of the things that we did today to it. And then if you have an account, it'll let you know, it'll literally just pull it up in it, and then you can kind of have that to be your own. So that's awesome. No sense starting from scratch if someone, helped create something already. All right. Does anybody else have any questions while we have Riley? Otherwise, hopefully, it's just a tool that you can, sign up, just start with the free account, see if you're going to use it, decide if the pro works, but, definitely get in there and check it out. All right, I think we're good. Thank you again, Riley. I appreciate it. And again, the recording will be available in the Learning Library and the Agent Hub later today or tomorrow. I think you get a notification when I do put something in there. So just kind of look for that, and you'll know what's in there.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Riley. Great job.
Thank you, Riley. Appreciate it. Take care, everyone.
You're welcome. See you guys.